Okay. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Good morning, online. Good morning. Okay. So, hope everyone are doing good. So, let's jump on. What did we discuss in our last class? Maven, that was completed. And then Maven completed practicals? Yes or no? Okay. Good. How about you online? Maven practicals completed? Nice. And also yesterday we started about the Jenkins also, right? So we discussed about what was there before Jenkins. Everything was manual approach or not? So Maven, we had the goals there, and then Maven is for mainly what purpose? Build purpose. What purpose? Build, and then we were manually building it. We were manually building it. So what we do, we get the code from the GitHub, and then what we do? We build it. We compile it. First we validate, we compile. Next, tell me the phases. Maven phases: validate, compile, test, package, install, deploy, and then clean. Right? Instead of that, you can use a single command called maven clean package. So, but you are doing these phases manually. You are doing phases this manually. For that reason, we got what here? Jenkins. Jenkins will help you to get the code automatically from GitHub and then build it and generate the WAR files. Generate the WAR files. And yesterday I showed you about what was there before Jenkins, how they are doing it manually. So now let's go with this. You know this already here. Let me explain this. Okay. So how to do this automation using Jenkins? Automation with what? Jenkins. So you know very well here we have the developers. What the developers will do? Developers will push the code. What the developers will do? Push the code. Where does they push the code? Into the SCM. Which is SCM here? GitHub. So we can call it as SCM also. We can call it as VCS also. So GitHub, and then they'll push the code to the GitHub. And from GitHub, generally, yesterday I told you build team will be there. They will pull the code, they will clone the code, and then they will build it manually. But do we need to build it manually anymore? No. So what we have here, Jenkins. What we have here, Jenkins. Jenkins is the guy who will pull the code or clone the code or pull the code from where? GitHub. So Jenkins will pull the code from the GitHub. And what the Jenkins will do, in Jenkins, we will create something called jobs. Say that. Jenkins jobs. Say that. Or we call it as build jobs. What is that? So Jenkins jobs, or we call it as build jobs. In the Jenkins, we configure the Jenkins job. And then in that job is what? It's a task only, right? Job is what here? It's a task. So what are the things that we create here? We will use Maven to build it. So what we do? Maven compile, Maven next after compile, Maven test, and then Maven package. All this series of steps we'll be writing, we'll be giving in the Jenkins. Or simply you can use only single command called Maven clean package. So if you create in Jenkins, you create a job. In Jenkins, if you create a job and then inform and then put this configuration, Maven configuration, and you run the job, automatically Jenkins will go and get the code from GitHub, and then it automatically build it, and it automatically generate a WAR file. Yesterday, what we are doing, Maven validate, Maven compile, Maven test, Maven package. Individually, we are running the commands or not? But here, if you use one single command maven clean package, where? In Jenkins job. Where? In Jenkins job. And if you run the job, automatically build will happen. And Jenkins will generate the var file or not? So Jenkins has a default path. Jenkins has what? A default path. And the default path is var lib Jenkins. Say that. /var/lib/Jenkins. Very, very, very important. By heart it. Okay. So what is the path for the Jenkins? What is the default path of Jenkins? Online, put in the chat. /var/lib/Jenkins/workspace. What is that? Workspace. So tell me, what is the default path of Jenkins? Understood? In that workspace, now tell me, war file will be created in which directory in Maven? Which directory? That is home directory, .m2. But war files will be generated in which directory? Target directory. Which one? Have you seen it yesterday? Right? Which directory? Target directory. So in this var lib Jenkins/workspace, so there will be a target directory. Inside that you have the war file. Inside that war file. Okay. After, okay, what is the first phase? First phase is to get the code from the GitHub. Second thing is we build that. Third phase is what? Generally in SDLC, what is the third phase? Guys, we code, we build, and then test. No. What we do? Test. So this test will be done by which tool? SonarQube. And then here we will be integrating which tool here? SonarQube. So SonarQube will be installing on one of our EC2 instance. SonarQube will be installed on one of our EC2 instance. And then the SonarQube will scan the entire code. The quality checks will happen. After that, where do you store the var files? In S3 or Nexus. So we'll be installing Nexus and one of the EC2 instance. And then what we do, or we will create a bucket in S3 and then we'll put the var files in the Nexus. Once you have the var file here in the Nexus or in S3, then what we do, we do the deployment. Where do we do the deployment? On the EC2 instance. Docker. As I told you, on EC2 instance, what you need to, what is the application server you need to install? Tomcat. What is that here? Tomcat. So this Kubernetes and Docker, we will see it later. First, what we do is we need to launch one EC2 instance and then install the Tomcat inside it. And then this var file we need to deploy into the Tomcat. And that will be accessed by our customer. Now, all these are different tools we are integrating or not. And all this in between. Jenkins. Who is the main guy in between here? So Jenkins is the guy who will be integrating the GitHub. Jenkins is the guy who is integrating with the Maven. Jenkins is the guy who is integrating with the Sonar. Jenkins is the guy who is integrating with the Nexus. And Jenkins is the guy who is integrating with the EC2. For that reason, Jenkins is called CI server. What is that? What is CI server meaning? CI server, full form. Continuous integration. There is no network. Continuous integration server. Online, can you hear me? Now fine. Okay. Without saying, tell me. It will be integrating with what? First GitHub, next Maven, next SonarQube, Why you are getting Jenkins? Jenkins will with so and Jenkins will be integrating with what? AC2. This is called pipeline. This is called what here? So that is why Jenkins is called CI server. CI server means continuous integration. As we are deploying the EC2, pipeline is called CI. CD. Right? Yeah, no, okay. Screen also lost, huh? Can you hear me now? Screen is visible? Okay. Seema. So I was telling here the pipelines, right? The pipeline. So Jenkins is the main guy, which we call it as CI server. What we call it here? Yeah, I'm repeating, guys. I deleted and repeating. CI server. So which is called your CI server? Jenkins is a CI server. And Jenkins is integrating with what? GitHub. Jenkins will be integrating with the GitHub. Online, put it in the chat. Now Jenkins will again integrate with next Maven. Jenkins will be integrating with what? SonarQube. And Jenkins will be integrating with what? Nexus. Jenkins will be integrating with EC2. Or Jenkins can be integrated also with Docker. Jenkins also integrate with Kubernetes. And what are all this called? This is called the, as you're continuously integrating multiple tools, we call it as continuous integration. And as you're continuously deploying on EC2, Docker, and Kubernetes, we call it as CD. CI/CD pipeline. This is called what here? CI/CD. Continuous integration, continuous deployment. So Jenkins is all about integrating. That's why we call it a CI server. What is it called? CI server, continuous integration server. So here we will be learning each and every tool now here. So here GitHub we already done, learning it. Maven also done. Next we are learning what here? Jenkins. After learning Jenkins, we will be learning about the Tomcat because we need to deploy on the Tomcat, right? After that we'll learn here Sonar. After that Nexus. After that Docker, Kubernetes. Like this, tool by tool we'll be learning it. Got the point? Online, got it now? Is this clear? You understood what is CI/CD? Nice. Okay. Now, do you see this here again? Now this will be easier now. How do we automate using the Jenkins? So we have the developer. Developer, what they do? They push the code to the GitHub. And then our Jenkins will pull the code. And in Jenkins, what it does? It will integrate with Maven and build it. It will compile and it will create an artifact called var file. What is the default path for the Jenkins? /var/lib/jenkins/workspace. So the var file will be generated inside this, and then Jenkins will integrate with Sonar, and then Sonar will help you to do the scan, quality checks, code smell, code review. Everything will be done by the SonarQube. And then after that, we will store our artifacts in Nexus, or you can store the artifacts in where? S3, and then that var file you need to deploy on the EC2 instance. What does the EC2 instance contain? Tomcat inside. If not EC2, you can deploy on Docker, you can deploy on Kubernetes. Okay. So this is called Jenkins pipeline. Say that. Online, put it in the chat. What is this called? Jenkins pipeline. Now, let me give the introduction about the Jenkins. Now you understand what the Jenkins will do. Jenkins is a continuous integration server which will help you to integrate multiple tools and deploy to the EC2 instances or Docker or Kubernetes. So Jenkins is a open source. It's free. Jenkins is open source automation tool for what purpose? Continuous integration and continuous deployment purpose. So what this developer will do now? Developer continuously generate or write the code. They have the old code also, or they have the new code. Yes or no? Today they will write the code and they push it to the GitHub. Tomorrow also they will write the new code and they will push it to the GitHub. Let's say version 1 they have completed, they have pushed it to the GitHub. And what will our Jenkins will do? Jenkins will automatically take the code and then what the Jenkins will do? Louder. Jenkins will? Why are you so silent? Louder. Jenkins will what it do first? Build it. What the Jenkins will do? Build. So again, I'm telling you, when the developer push the version 1 code to the GitHub, so what the Jenkins will pick up that version 1 and then what it does? It will build it. Once it build it using what tool? Maven. And it will generate what? War file. It generate what? War file. And then this code will be scanned by the SonarQube. And this war file will be stored into the Nexus. And this war file will be deployed onto the EC2 instance. So this is now all this continuously happen or not? Let's say now developer has pushed the version 2. Which one? As soon as he pushed the version 2 to the GitHub, Jenkins runs this pipeline again automatically. What does the pipeline contains? Build, test, deploy. So this Maven, this Jenkins will automatically pull the code, version 2 code. It will build it. It will generate the var file. It will test it, SonarQube. It will store the var file to the Nexus, and that latest var file will be deployed onto the EC2 instance. This is continuous process. What is this called? This is DevOps. This is what? DevOps. So DevOps engineer is required to write these pipelines, to set up these pipelines, to write these pipelines, to deploy the application to the servers. Understood? Yeah. Nice. Now Maven does the same, but it is manual or not? Maven is manual. To automate, we use what here? Jenkins. So what is continuous integration meaning? What's the definition? Continuous integration meaning continuous build plus continuous test. Yes or no? The code is there in GitHub. So continuously what we do? We build it. Continuously we test it. What is called continuous integration. And if you're deploying onto the servers, that is called continuous deployment. That is called CI/CD. So what is continuous delivery then? I told you, continuous deployment meaning it is automatically deploying, whereas continuous delivery meaning you are manually deploying it. What's that? Manually deploying. Got the point? Online, you got it? What's the difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment? Delivery meaning manually, deployment meaning automatically. What will happen is our Jenkins will automatically pull the code from GitHub. It will build it. It will test it. It will generate the var file. No, that var file automatically deploy to the servers. That is a continuous deployment. Delivery meaning the var file will be stored, but it will not be deployed. Whenever required, you go and deploy manually. That's called continuous delivery. So I will not be telling who invented this Jenkins because name you cannot read it. And his name is Kosuke Kawaguchi. Who's that? Kosuke. Kosuke. What's that? Kosuke. It is not Kosuke. So in Japanese, they Koho. Ko. We have Japanese customers also. Right? Kosuke Kawaguchi. Okay, so anyways, in shortcut, you can call it as Gucci. You can say Gucci. Okay. Who invented Jenkins? Kosuke Kawaguchi. Or you can call it as Gucci Bai. Okay, Gucci Bai. So previously, Naveen, you speak like a local. Yeah. Abhiram Gochi. He'll feel bad if you say Gochi. Okay. These Japanese and Chinese, they speak very slow. Very slow. So when we have a call with Japanese customers, I don't so interest at all. Because if they want to communicate, let's say application is not working. That is the summary. And she called me and said, they don't call me Riaz. They call me Reyaz. Ray. Because R-E is Ray, no? They are very specific to the pronunciation. They call me, hello, Reyaz. Yeah. Hi. Today, I logged into the machine. I opened the browser and typed your URL. But unfortunately, this is not working. Could you please help me here to resolve the issue on priority? This is how they speak. Simply, if you are Indians, then what you say? Hey, application down ho gaya, chalo bhai kuch karo, right? Yes or no? So that's a difference. And even when I was in Romania, yeah, they also, yeah, Naveen say yes. By the time she tell, issue is fixed already. You should have a lot of patience. They speak only Japanese and English, right? So, and that too, whatever you see this Korean movies, they're all dubbings and then those are different. Yeah. Yeah. Process is very slow. Correct. Okay, anyways. Previously, this Jenkins was called as Hudson. What's that? I still remember when I was working in Apple, right? I worked in Apple also, right? In Apple, so we used to work in iCloud. So we used to write the code and then we need to build it, right? So we used to I remember we used Hudson. Which one? Hudson was the paid version, right? Later, we got this Jenkins. Now they renamed it as what? Jenkins, and they made it free, open source. And Jenkins works on which port number? 8080. Which port number? Remember till end of the course. Because Jenkins, we always need Jenkins. Because each and every tool that you are learning, you need to integrate with Jenkins only, no? We will learn GitHub, we'll integrate with Jenkins. We will learn Maven, we'll integrate with Jenkins. We will learn Sonar, we'll integrate with Jenkins, right? So as I already taught you GitHub and then Maven. So now, once we learn Jenkins, we'll integrate these two with Jenkins. So what's the default port number? 8080. And Jenkins need Java. Jenkins need Java. Without Java, Jenkins will not work. Right? So we will be installing Java 17 latest, right? So without Java, you cannot run Jenkins. What is the default path for Jenkins? /var/lib/Jenkins/workspace. There are so many alternatives for Jenkins. Jenkins is the most commonly used tool that we use in the real time, because most of the companies, they don't go for the paid versions. They always look for what? Open source, because they want to save the budget. So for that reason, people go with the Jenkins, but there are so many alternate tools like Bamboo, GoCI, Circle CI, right? And then Tavis, Semaphore, Buddy, Buildmaster, Harness. We will be using Argo CD also. Which one? Say that again. Say that again. So Argo CD is also a deployment tool to where? To Kubernetes. To where? So I'll be using Kubernetes deployment tool called Argo CD. I'll be teaching you Jenkins also, and another deployment tool called Argo CD also. Argo CD is only for Kubernetes. Jenkins is also for everything. Okay. So in the cloud also, in AWS also, we have the, in Jenkins, what we create? Pipelines only, no? Say, in Jenkins, what we create? What pipelines are those? Jenkins pipelines or CI/CD pipelines. We call it as what? If you want to little bit more professional, call it as CI/CD pipelines, or else we both are talking with each other, then we call it as Jenkins pipeline. So Jenkins pipeline is a series of steps or not? GitHub, Maven, test, all the series of steps. So in AWS also we have something called code pipeline. Say that. That is also continuous deployment. We'll use CI/CD. For CI/CD, we use code pipeline. Good thing is I'll be teaching that code pipeline also. Part 3. Which one is that? Part 3 is very small. That I'll integrate with in the projects. I'll show you the projects directly. Okay. Okay. So what is a build deployment process, Nana? Take the latest source code from the repository, compile the source code using Maven, execute, test it, perform the code review using SonarQube, package the code, and deploy the WAR file to the server. And all these things will be done by whom? Jenkins. Okay, na? Clear? Jenkins background. Online is clear? So what we're going to do is, now, should we start the practicals? So what is the first thing we need to do? Launch the EC2 instance, and we need to install the Jenkins or not. So I'll show you here how to install Jenkins first. For this, we'll be using AL2. Which one? Amazon Linux 2. Say that. So let's go and launch Amazon Linux 2 machine. Our T2 micro is also fine. T2 micro. First, we'll learn Chennakesava. So what we do, first we will learn Jenkins, then we'll go and do the deployment. First we need to learn Jenkins, right? Deployment is the last thing. Before deployment, what are the tools that we have? Huh? In between, we need to do a lot of things, right? Software employee to new. Today I will teach you how to fix the pipelines. And now we are working as pumplers here. Correct, Ganesh. So those who don't know about the pipelines, yeah, they feel that they're working as a plumbers. I saw that one reel also, very old. So one guy is selling that, hey, fix that pipeline. And his mother came and then slapped him. I thought you are working in a company. You are working as a carpenter, plumber, or what is it? Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and then launch. I know today is Saturday. I told you today is important. Huh? Huh? Offline students, seats are empty. Online, okay. You joined online. Mm. And by the way, Monday is holiday for you. Okay. So Naresh IT has declared holiday on Monday on the occasion of Ramadan. You're saying thank you, sir, but no one is saying missing you, sir. Huh? Yes. Everything is fine now? 9 a.m., blah, 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 blah. Okay, launch. Okay. Arsha. Yeah, yeah, Rashmita, thank you. Abhiram Singh, sir, biryani, huh? Ask nearby friend. So, I still remember in my school days, I used to stay in colony, right? So, my dad was superintendent. So, especially on the Ramzan, we have a habit to share food with everyone, nearby people. So, on that day, all our other friends, they don't cook. They don't cook at all. And they're just waiting for the carriage from right from our guys, right? So, and because and they used to my friends are also always walking in front of our house. We're all child, on those days, right? And then they start smelling the food, and right, we still remember all those things. Yes, so it happens for you, right? Yeah, yeah. Come offline, we can do. First, I'll teach Kubernetes, then we'll go for biryani. Okay. Yes, Ugadi also, right? Ugadi is also coming, right? Yeah. Monday only. Sunday, tomorrow only, Ugadi. So take holiday, no problem. Okay. So let's connect first. So 5:30 batch completed yesterday. I mean, yeah, a couple of days. They also people like you only. Like it's a very very big batch, and the last day, like oh god, it was they celebrated blah blah done, done, done. Very emotional, right? Gudi Padwa. Gudi Padwa. Sorry, sorry. What's that? Gudi Padwa. Acha. Gudi Padwa. Okay. What's that? Yeah, what is that? Ugadi. Acha. Okay. Sorry, I'm very bad with the names. Hmm. Marathi language is different, right? Acha. Which language is this? I have my friend. He's always like Kimcho. Huh? Bengali, right? Yeah. Kimcho. Yeah. Kemcho. Kimcho. Kemcho. Acha. Sorry. Kemcho. Okay, I'll teach you one word of my um, Romania. I was in Romania for many years, Europe, right? So say with me, okay? Bună dimineața. Say that. Bună dimineața. That meaning good morning. Okay? So from tomorrow onwards, you say Buna Dimini as right? Or else you can, in shortcut, you can call it as Buna. Buna meaning good day, right? Yeah. Yeah. There are some yeah, Korean, huh? Acha. Anasayo, huh? Yeah, a lot of Korean fans are there, huh? Okay. Let's move on. Okay. So I have just logged into the machine. What is the landing command? Sudo -s. And remember, in the DevOps, it's always, uh, okay, Abhiran, let's not do that because Telugu people are also there. Okay. Okay. So, correct, Rashmita. She copied from internet. I know. That A, on top of A, there is one small thing is there, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So remember when Google Translate, I know. Whenever, so in the DevOps, whenever we are learning about the tools, remember we always set the name of the machines. What's the command? Hostname, CTL, set hyphen hostname. Which one is this? Jenkins. Always better to go sudo hyphen I. So what server is this? Jenkins server. It's always better to do that. Okay, so let's, guys, I have written a script to install the Jenkins Fatafat in few seconds. But the thing is here, first let's go with the manual method, then you can go for the next, because Jenkins I'll be teaching for so many days, right? So every day, today I'll go with the manual process. From next time onwards, we'll use a script to install. So do you see this here? First of all, what you need to do is, this Jenkins works on which port number? 8080. Jenkins work on which port number? 8080. So the first thing in the security group, what you need to do is, you need to allow the port 8080. So you need to allow the port 8080. How do you allow it? In the inbound rules, edit. So there is no port 8080. You need to use custom TCP and then here 8080. But this you will be doing every time. Not only Jenkins, there are so many tools that will be using it. And then you need to add the protocols. In real time, please add the protocols like this, port numbers. But now in our class, just go ahead and put all traffic anywhere, everyone. How do you do that? All traffic and then here anywhere. If you do this, you don't need to worry about the security groups at all till end of the course. Because we'll be doing so many tools, have so many port numbers. Random port numbers will be there. Okay, that is one thing you need to remember. So let us go and set up the Jenkins. Emma? Yeah. So what is the first step here? The first step here is installing Git, Java, and then what? Maven. Why we need Maven? Build purpose, right? For that reason, we are installing what here? Git is for what purpose? Cloning purpose. So what is a Jenkins? Jenkins is integration server. So Jenkins will go and pull the code from the GitHub and then build using the Maven, right? So for that reason, remember we are installing Git, Maven, and also what we need here? Java 17. So let's go and install this. So I told you for Java, for Jenkins, what we need? We need Java. I mean, that is Amazon related thing. Okay. So after that, what is the step 2? See, step 2, we need to download the Jenkins. First of all, remember this. Whatever the softwares that you have, all the softwares will be available in their respective company repositories. Where it is available? Red Hat it has its own repository. Jenkins has its own repository. Docker has its own repository. Kubernetes has its own repository. Every software have their own repositories. So what we need to do is we need to add that repository or not? Yes. So this is the command here. You are adding that repository. Sudo wget. So this yum.repos Jenkins. So because what is the URL that you need to go and get the Jenkins? Jenkins.io. If you go to Jenkins.io, this is our Jenkins Tata, right? So Jenkins, and click on here, what here? Download. So inside this, you go for which one here? Red Hat. So do you see this here? These are the things that we will be using for installation purpose. Okay. So don't worry. I've already put everything here, whatever that I'm using. So what it says here, duplicate, and then Jenkins repos, we are adding it or not? Same command, I'm putting it here. So let's add the Jenkins repo. Added, right? And then we are setting up a key. Just go ahead and guys, here no need to by heart these commands. This is just an installation. Just copy paste and run it. Okay. Next, what we need to do? Install the Jenkins. What's the command to install the Jenkins here? Yum install y. Yum install Jenkins -y. Directly you cannot install it. Yeah. It will install something JRE or something else, Rashmita. So go with the Java 17 here. So Java 17. Okay, so guys, if you go for yum install Jenkins -5 directly, our operating system will not understand the Jenkins. For that reason only, what we did, we have added this repository, jenkins.repo. So our operating system will understand where the Jenkins is present in the Jenkins repository. Now if we hit enter, so this will go and check with the Jenkins repository and started installing here Jenkins. Okay. So what's the command to start the Jenkins? Guys, remember, once you install the Jenkins, by default it is in the stop state. So what's the command? System, say that. Systemctl start jenkins.service. And if you want to check the status, systemctl status jenkins.service. And do you see here? Systemctl, and then instead of start, you put here status. What it says here? Active and running or not? So that means we have successfully installed the Jenkins. So there is a command. So if at all, if you stop and start the EC2 instance, but I recommend all the time to, once you complete the practicals, terminate the machines. Many lazy people, what they do is, they'll stop the machines and they will come again tomorrow. They will start the machine again, work it. Why? You are here to learning purpose. So every time, whatever, any big project also, terminate everything and then redo it again so that you will learn much better. Multiple times you will be doing it, right? It is better to do multiple times. So always don't go and stop, terminate it. But terminate only here in the course. Don't terminate in the real time. If you terminate the machines, they will terminate you. Okay, don't do that. So, but I'm just telling you, if at all you stop the machines and then if you want to work tomorrow, this Jenkins should automatically need to comes up or not. So that meaning we are starting auto start. Check config Jenkins on. If you put it, it will auto start it. What is that? It will automatically start the service. Otherwise, you have to come and then do systemctl start jenkins.service. You need to log in and do it. Okay. Now, we have successfully installed the Jenkins. And how do you open the Jenkins? So take the IP address and then put it in the browser. In the colon here, what port number? 8080. Enter. And see Jenkins is up. And how do you get the password? Copy this entire one. And here, you need to do cat. What's that? Cat. Get this. And you got the password? Copy that password. Put it over here. Click on continue. So once you click on continue, remember guys, Jenkins has a concept called plugins. What is that? By default, Jenkins doesn't know anything. So for everything, what you need to have, you need to install what? Plugins. If you want to, if you're running a pipeline and you need to integrate with the GitHub or not, Jenkins doesn't know Git. Jenkins doesn't know Maven. Jenkins doesn't know Docker. Jenkins doesn't know Kubernetes. Jenkins doesn't know Sonar. Jenkins doesn't know anything. So it is, you need to install what? Plugins. Maven has a plugin, right? And then Tomcat has a plugin. Docker has a plugin. Kubernetes has a plugin. GitHub has a plugin. So for every tool we have what? Plugin. So you need to install all those plugins, but initially this will help. Do you see here? Install suggested plugins are there, no? So click on the first one. So it will install all default plugins like Git and Mavens and everything. So this will take a while. So once you install this, once it will automatically install the plugins, your Jenkins is ready. Okay. Online, no? Is this clear till here? No, Naveen. Guys, first we will learn the Jenkins tool. Once we learn what are the Jenkins options we have, then we'll go and integrate Maven. Maven separately, you don't need to have a separate machine. Inside this only we have installed Maven. Yes or no? So you just need to write a pipeline. There are two. We'll learn, Naveen. So what do we create in Jenkins? Jobs. What do we create? Jobs. Jenkins jobs. In Linux, what is the command to print? Echo. Very good. Which one? Echo. Echo. When I was in Romania, there are nothing English, no English at all. It's Romanian language. And while speaking with them, they are very slow. Very, very slow. I spent few years after coming back to India, and I could not able to speak in English properly. You know that? And in my home also, I was talking like, and they were asking at my home, my dad, what happened to your English? Why are you speaking like this? Then it took a long time, at least few weeks, to set it up to get practice. I used to speak myself in front of the mirror. Then it took long time, right? More. That's why I came back. Guys, I was there in so many countries, but end of the day, India is best. Okay, give the username, whichever the username that you want. I'm giving Riaz. Password Riaz. 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 It's not that important, so just go. You can skip it also if required. And then do you see what is Jenkins URL? This is the URL or not? IP address. And then click on finish and start Jenkins. And I met Naresh Hassan today. Really? Where in US? Huh? Ah, nice. Say hi to him. Karthik. Yeah, I know. What, you guys are roommates or what? Okay, so here, congratulations, Jenkins is ready. So everyone, oh, his friend is my roommate. Huh? Okay, nice. Say hi to him, Abhi. Okay, see here, Jenkins is ready, and this is the Jenkins dashboard. What is this here? Slowly we'll habituate everything, every link over here. So, but just here, Jenkins, what we have here, dashboard, and these are all normal logout in your profile and all notifications you get, security related things. And what is it here? build history. And here, what is this? This is the place where we always go and do the configurations. What is that? Manage Jenkins. And then here, build executors. We'll talk about all these things. And what is here? New item. Say that here. So let us go and create one first job. Okay. Let's go and create a first job. Okay. See here. Online, listen carefully. So let's go and new items will always refers to creating a new job. So click on here, new item. So call it as here, my first job. You can give any name. Okay. I will call it as job 1. Call it as job 1. So here you have different item types here. So many are there. But for starting, you go with the freestyle project. Which one here? Once you are comfortable with the Jenkins tool, then we'll go and write what here? Pipelines. So we'll be using these two. Mostly in real time also we'll going with the freestyle project and then pipeline. Not in freestyle also, we'll go always with what? Pipelines. But to make comfort, that pipeline meaning we need to write a code directly. So here, freestyle project meaning everything is clicks, GUI. So first, let's get familiar all the options using GUI, then we'll go with the pipeline code. So here in pipeline, we use Groovy script. Which one? Groovy. Which one? Groovy. Don't worry, Groovy is not like very like C, C++, Java and all. It's very easy. But you don't need to write, but I'll help you to remember how to write the pipeline, right? So for now, which one will go for? Freestyle project. Select this and click on here. Okay. Okay. So this coming up. Okay. See, description. You call it as this is my first Jenkins job. Okay. You can write a name, anything. All these things we'll be learning one by one, right? But see here, read it here. Discards old builds. That meaning what? If you have any old builds running, the all will be discarded. GitHub project will integrate. This project is parameter. We'll be using this a lot. Which one? Say that, read it. This project is parameterized. So we have a concept called parameters. We will learn in coming days. Throttle builds. What is that? Throttle builds. Throttle meaning limit. So how many builds that you can run in particular time? In real time, what will happen is we also have a CI server, and our so-called developers and testers, what they do, click, 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 click. If you click these many clicks, those many jobs will run or not? Unnecessarily, my machine is 4 GB RAM, and if 10 people are running 10 jobs at a time, my machine will crash or not? So I'll be telling that limit that in 5 minutes or in 1 hour, maximum 4 jobs should run. So those only 4 jobs, that kind of limits we can set it in throttle build. Execute concurrent builds if necessary. Concurrent meaning parallel builds. Parallel builds. We'll learn all these things. What is this here? Source code management. Which is the source code management that we are using? Git. But we'll talk. We'll learn, right? What is this here? Triggers build remotely. We will learn this also. And build after other projects are built. That meaning, if one job build, immediately after that, another job will get a sequence. First, you create a pipeline called dev pipeline. After that, test pipeline. After that, prod. So like this, can I link it or not? So we call it as link jobs, or also we can call it as upstream jobs. What is that? We'll learn all this. I just want to make you comfortable. Okay. Build periodically. Say that. As the name clearly says, what is that? It will build periodically at a certain point of time. Like if you want to build every 1 hour or every 1 day, you can just go and put, remember cron job? Cron job. In AWS, we learn cron job. In Linux also, we learn about cron jobs, right? So cron jobs. So you can set up the cron jobs here based on that build. So GitHub, hook trigger, poll ACM, all these things. Because whenever Git ACM polling, poll ACM, say that. Git SCM polling, poll SCM. So whenever any code updated in the GitHub, automatically pipeline should run or not. So then we'll use these concepts, we'll learn. So these are all environments, that's fine. What is this next year? Build steps. Say that. This is important. All these are all parameters only. These are all what, Nana? So these are all parameters and these are all triggers, right? And these are all environment related. And this is here build step. So we need to add a build step. So here, see, build step meaning here, which is a build step meaning what? You tell me which one I need to select here for build. देखो उधर देखो. Tell me which one I need to select for build. We need to do by build, right? So build meaning which tool we use. So which one I need to select there? So it clearly says invoke top level Maven targets. If you select this and then you can just run a command called Maven clean package, boom, will happen. But here, before I go directly to that, let me make comfortable with some shell commands. What is that here? So which one I need to select here? Execute shell. So execute shell meaning whatever the commands that you are writing on the Linux machine, all those commands will work here. Whatever that you are writing on the Linux machine, ls or any Linux commands, right? So here, for example, let me print one line. What's the command to print? Echo. Say that. Echo. I'm just printing. Welcome to Jenkins sessions. Okay. I'll be teaching little bit of shell scripting, little bit. Okay. So now you wrote it right? You wrote it right, everyone? So now what we do, click on here, save. Click on here, save. Now, see, do you see this here? Job one got created, Nana? And what we need to do on the left side, build now. Say that. If you click on build now, do you see this here? Build has happened or not? Do you see on the left side success here? Green color. So whenever you see this here green color, that means it is success. So if you want to see the output, click on it. And do you see this here? What it is printing here? What is printing here? Welcome to Jenkins sessions. And job is success. In real time, in our course also, this will give you a lot of satisfaction. So because we'll be writing big jobs, and end of the day, your job should be success. If it is failure, then there is some issue, you need to troubleshoot it. So here, the job is what on here? Success. And started by who here? Riaz. Because I created username called Riaz, no? What is the default path? /var/lib/jenkins/workspace and then job name. What is the job name here? Job one. Whatever that you have written in the job, everything will be inside this only. If you create a file, this will be here. If the pipeline is creating any new files, it will be here. Understood? Okay, now come to the dashboard. Okay, job one is here. Now, how to edit the job? What is that here? How to edit the job. So how to edit the job? Click on the job and you see here configure. Click on the job here, configure. And then again the same console will open. Can I go and modify the code also here if required? Let us go and modify the code. See, I come down and I have the build steps. Do you see this here? Now let me add. Guys, this entire thing, I want to print it in one text file. What do we do here? I want this entire line to be printed in the text file. Do you remember the redirector? Remember I told you in the Linux operator, redirector operator, greater than, Rashmita, very good, greater than file name. You need to put the file name. But I want to put that file name in where? In the /temp, where I'm moving the file. And I call it as first job.txt. Can you tell me if I run, what will happen? This file will be, what is the file name? First job.txt file will be created under which directory? Temp directory. And what does that contain? Welcome to Jenkins session. Actually, this is not the actual job of Jenkins, but I'm teaching you a little bit self-scripting, how it looks like. Okay. Should we save it here? How to run? How to build it? How to build it? Build now. Do you see click on here? Build now. And do you see on the left side? 2 is built here. So click on that. And do you see what it says? Success. So now the file got created or not? Where is the file? Can you see it from here? No. So it has created on my machine or not? Where it created? Under which directory? /temp. So how to go to that directory? cd/temp. If you do ls, do you see that first job.txt? So how to see the content of the file? Cat first job.txt. Do you see that? Online, you're getting it. Online, you're getting it now. So I'll give you one more scenario here, just for fun. I want to run a script from the Jenkins job. I want to run a script. Where is my script? Inside the server. Let's say here only. In the temp only, I'll be having a script. So what is the script? Okay, I'll write one small shells file. So I call it as vi. What is that? Basic.shell. sh. Or guys, .sh meaning what? Shell. .sh. Remember, our user data is everything is shell scripting only, right? Okay. Here I'm writing. Do you remember? We need to put what here? Hash exclamatory /bin/bash. What is this? Do you remember? Shebang. What is that here? Shebang. And then print one line. Echo. What I'm printing? This is sample script under temp directory. Enough. Let's not put more effort. How to run the script? How to run the shell file? You have shell file, right? Basic.shell file is there. How to run this shell file? Say with me. sh basic.sh. What is that? sh basic.sh or bash basic.sh or /. Okay, that's fine. I think it's not. Okay, we don't give the permission. But always go with sh basic.sh. / doesn't work because it is going to the root. Okay. Is it clear? Okay, now we are able to execute this. I want to execute this shell file from the pipeline. Should we do it? How? Okay, edit the job. How? How to edit the job? How to edit the job? Editor, where? Configure. Which one? Configure. Configure it. Why it is slow? Because T2 micro. Okay, see here, come down, and then here, what do you write? After this, run the file. How to run the file? sh basic.sh. But where is that? Under the temp, right? /temp/basic.sh. You getting it? Save it. Run it. How to build the job? Build now. And third is build. See, this is a sample script under temp direct. You understand? So can you call if you have the scripts running on the machine, Jenkins machine, can you call that and then run it or not? Yes. Getting it? Online, you got it, Nana? Nice. Now, edit the job. How? Configure. So let me teach you here parameters. Say that. So we have something called local variable. Say that on here. What is variable? We have learned the variables, right? Variables meaning which holds a value. Yes or no? Variables meaning which holds a value. So now here we can set a variable. We have something called local variable, global variable. Say that. Local variable, global variable. Local variable meaning that variable is available only within the job. Global variable meaning it will be available for all the jobs. So here variable meaning here I'll be selecting something called this one. Say this. This project is parameterized. Say that. Which one here? Online put in the chat. This project is parameterized. Okay. Do you see this here? Add parameter. Say that. Add parameter. Here, if you go for the add parameter, here you have so many parameters are there. So now I'm just going for which one here? String parameter. Say that. String parameter. So I call it as first name. What's that? First name. Value is, I'm just giving my name. What is the variable name? Variable name is first name. Value is Riaz. Can you write one more also? Add parameter. Which one? String parameter. I call it as last name and I call it as Sheikh. Did I set the variables here? Now that variables I need to call in the script here. That variables I need to call into the script. So now I need to write here echo. I want to print like this. I am or else my name is Riaz Sheikh. I want to get this print like this. So how do we do that? Echo in here I call it as my name is. Okay. So Nana, how do we call a variable? Dollar. Say that here. Online, tell me here. This is very important. What's the variable name? First name. First name. And then I need to print here dollar last name. So if I do this, what I'll print here? My name is Riaz Sheikh. Yes or no? Guys, online. Sounds bad, huh? Online, you're getting it now. Online, you're getting it? Nice. Okay, now click on save. And then previously, build now was there. Now it says what? Build with parameters. Now it is asking, see, first name, Riaz, last name, Sheikh. If I build it, so what will happen here? Fourth bill is done. And you see, my name is Riaz Sheikh. These are all small steps is required for the bigger things. Right? Okay. Now, build it again, build with parameters. Can you change it to someone else or not? I call it Deepika, Sikha, Kohli. Can I do this? Can I override it? Yes, build now. And what happens? And it says, my name is Deepika. So everyone understood how to provide the variable in the job. So using what parameter? What is the parameter name? This project is parameterized. Say that. This project is parameterized. Now, I want you, now I have a requirement, edit the job and give male or female concept, choice parameters. How do we do that? Click on here, configure. Okay. Same, in this project is parameterized, is there? No, we already have name, we already have last name. Can I add one more also if required? This time I'll go with what here? Choice parameter. Which one here? Choice. What's the name? I call it as here, for example, gender. What are your choices? Male, female, others. Okay. So guys, previously I took string parameter. Now I'm just, which one I'm choosing here? Choice. These two are very commonly used. So can I take like, environment as production, dev, test also here? Yeah. Click on here, save. Now build with parameters. Do you see now Riya Sheikh here, gender, I'm getting it here or not? No, male only. Yeah. Click on here, build. But am I printing this mail? Am I printing it? No, right? So we need to print it. How? Go to configure and we need to call this variable in our script or not? Guys, little bit shell scripting, okay? Little bit. Sir, you told there is no scripting, but you're teaching scripting. Why? Little bit. Arey Babu. T2 micro. Okay, see here, how do I call? In the script, how do I call? Echo, my name is this. Next. Here in brackets, I am here, dollar, gender. Save. Build with parameters. Select male, build it, and do it. And do you see this here? My name is Riya Sheikh. I am male. You getting it? So when you're writing, guys, when you're writing the pipelines, so definitely we need to pass the variables. And I'm showing you here how to pass the variables using this project is parameterized concept. What concept is that? This project is parameterized. And there we have used two things, two parameters. What are those? String parameter and choice parameter. Which one here? Online string parameter and then choice parameter. Online is clear, Nana? Okay. Now I'm giving one small task. Everything is printing. I want to print like this. Deploying to production environment. Deploying to production. That production should be a variable for me. Got it? You understand? How do we, tell me how do we do it? So let's go and configure. So we need to, this project is parameters. Inside that we need to add which parameter? Choice parameter. Which parameter? Choice. Yes or no? The choice I'll give it as environment, name as environment, and the choices are production, dev, test. And in the script, can I call that environment variable or not? Simple. Okay, tell me how to create one more parameter here. Tell me. Add parameter. Which one? Choice parameter. Here, here can I call it as env? Here, production, development, and then test. And then can I call that here? Here, how do we do it? Echo, deploying, right? To which environment? Deploying to NV. Should I write production or I need to call the variable? How do I call the variable? Dollar env environment. So if I save it and then build it and then mail here, I go with the production and build it and use 7 and what it says, deploying to production environment. Can I change it to whichever I want or not? Can I change it to here development and then name Rashmita Kumari. Here, female and development. If I build it, what will happen? See, it's dynamic or not? See, my name is Rashmita Kumari. I am female, deploying to development environment. See, runtime variables are changing. Online, you're getting it? Nice. Will you do it till here? I'll stop it here. Complete it. And from the next class, we'll go with integrating with GitHub. Integrating. So today I showed you to get how to do the installation, what is Jenkins and all, and then to make comfortable with the jobs. So guys, can you create multiple jobs or not? I can create multiple jobs if required, right? And do you see this here? This is represent success, and this is weather. W meaning weather. Weather meaning it's not sunny or rainy and all. This is Jenkins weather. Jenkins weather meaning if your all jobs are successful, it is sunny. If your some few jobs are failed, then it will be rainy, drizzling. And if so many failures are happening, it is raining. It is not actual weather. Okay. So last success is this many and last this. And here also you can build it also if required. Okay. And if you see here, manage Jenkins, this is the place where that we will be doing a lot of configurations. So all global settings information will be here, right? And tools informations will be here. Remember plugins. We need to install the plugins from here. And then we have master slave nodes concept we will be learning will be here, right? And all credentials. If you want to connect to any Docker or Tomcat, we have credentials, right? How to mention credentials from here. Security related things, users we can create. All these things one by one will be learning in coming classes. So your task for today until Sunday and Monday is set up the Jenkins and then create the jobs and then try to run multiple times. Try to do something. Go and search in Google to sample simple jobs if you want. Try it out. Otherwise, just follow my things and keep quiet. Better. Okay? Will you able to do this? Online? Okay? Don't worry. I'll give all the entire notepad in the Google Classroom. Just follow it and then do it. Okay? Super. Any questions? Pains I'll upload. Don't worry. I'll upload to Google Classroom. Okay? Okay, so can I get the final CC for today, please? So the next class will be on Tuesday. So by Tuesday, those who have not completed GitHub Git concept, please complete all your practicals and then Git this Jenkins. And then from Tuesday onwards, we'll be on good pace. That means we'll be integrating what? GitHub, we'll be integrating Mavens, and then we'll be writing pipelines, a lot of things. The actual Jenkins will start from Tuesday. Okay. To be honest, I took it very light today because so many people are absent, right? So that's the reason. So Tuesday onwards, we'll go with. Yeah. So that is all for today. Let's connect on Tuesday with the next wonderful topic. Until then, take care. Have a nice day and have a nice weekend. And happy Ramzan and happy Ugadi. And enjoy the day and come with more blast, colorful, energetic people. I will see you on Tuesday. Until then, take care, guys. Bye-bye.